Close your eyes for a moment. Now imagine you wake up to the sound of distant traffic and birds echoing between the colorful buildings of Buenos Aires. The air is already warm. You stretch, glance at your phone. Dozens of new messages in the group chat. Someone's organizing a last-minute breakfast, and others ranting about last night's football match. You smile. The day has already started, not officially, not by the clock, but socially, emotionally. A few blocks away, someone is sipping a strong Cordido on a corner cafe, leaning halfway into a conversation with a friend and halfway into their phone. People laugh loudly, gesturing with their hands. Plans are being made or changed in real time. Nobody's in a rush, and yet, everything's in motion. In Argentina, life moves not on a schedule, but on impulse, on passion, on connection. Work? Oh, it's coming, but it blends into the day, like a friend showing up to lunch. It's personal, emotional, and sometimes chaotic. Deadlines may blur, but human bonds sharpen. You might stay late, not because you have to, but because everyone's still there, talking, building, feeling. For many Argentinians, work is not a separate space, it's just one more stage where life unfolds. Now picture a very different scene. It's 7:30 a.m. in Amsterdam. The sky is pale, the streets are clean, and the city is already in motion, quietly, efficiently. A woman hops onto her bike, a backpack perfectly balanced on her shoulders. She glides through bike lanes like clockwork, passing calm canals and minimalist apartments. Her breakfast was light, simple, nutritious. Her calendar? Already set last week. In the Netherlands, no one needs to guess what comes next. The workday starts on time. Meetings follow a clear agenda. Tasks are clearly defined. And when the clock hits 5, it ends. No dramatic goodbyes, no guilt trips. Everyone just leaves. To their families, their sports clubs, their hobbies. Life and work don't blend, they sit side by side, each in its proper place. Here, freedom doesn't mean doing what you want when you want. It means knowing when you don't have to do anything at all. So what happens when we compare these two worlds? One that thrives on unpredictability and emotional warmth, and one that runs on precision and personal space. In Argentina, you might feel alive, connected, seen. In the Netherlands, you might feel calm, respected, free. Directed today, we're going to live a full day in both countries. We'll wake up with them, commute with them, work, eat, rest, and reflect through their eyes. And by the end, you might find yourself questioning your own lifestyle. Do I want to feel more each day? Or do I want to control more of my day? The answer isn't obvious, and it might not be what you think. But one thing is certain, you'll never see work the same way again. Glow showing Europe, Africa, so tell me. Where do you think you'd feel more at home? In the emotional fire of Argentina, or the structured calm of the Netherlands? Let's find out together. Argentina, where work feels like life. Sunrise morning. In Argentina, mornings don't begin with silence, they begin with noise, not the stressed-out buzz of alarm clocks and traffic, but the vibrant hum of life already unfolding. Around 7:30 or 8 a.m., people start to stir, though it's not unusual for some to hit snooze a few more times. Sleep is flexible here, just like everything else. It's not uncommon for someone to show up late and simply say, "The morning got away from me," and everyone nods in understanding. Many Argentinians start their day with mate, a traditional herbal tea shared communally, even between co-workers. It's more than a drink, it's a ritual, a bonding tool. The gourd is passed from person to person, and along with it, casual conversation, subtle check-ins, and an invisible sense of community. Preparing mate is slow, intentional, and social. If you're lucky, you're sipping it while chatting on the balcony or scrolling through messages in a family group chat that hasn't stopped buzzing since 6 a.m. Breakfast itself is light and often sweet. A media luna, similar to a croissant, toast with dulce de leche, maybe coffee or more mate. There's no rush, unless you're already late, in which case, que vaya a hacer? What can you do? Time is elastic in Argentina. There's also an emotional warmth to mornings here. Before people get down to work, they connect. Jokes, gossip, sports talk, it's all part of starting the day. Work can wait a few more minutes. It's not considered unprofessional to talk about last night's football match before opening your laptop. Man, walking commute. The commute varies wildly depending on where you live. In Buenos Aires, the subway is the fastest way around, but often crowded and unpredictable. Buses are everywhere, but traffic jams are part of daily life. Some drive, honking, weaving, playing cumbia or rock nacional at full volume. Horns are part of the language of the city. Others walk or bike if they're lucky enough to live close by. But no matter how they get there, the commute is rarely quiet. People take calls, send voice notes, scroll through Instagram, or finish breakfast on the go. AirPods in. City buzzing. It's not unusual to overhear half a dozen conversations before you've even arrived. There's a general acceptance of delays. If you're late, no panic. Most people assume that plans are flexible by default. Time is seen not as something to conquer, but something to move with. Adult laptop computer start of the workday. Work officially starts around 9 or 10 a.m., though officially is a fluid word in Argentina. Arriving 20 minutes late isn't ideal, but also not shocking. What matters more is being there and being engaged. Whether it's an office in a high-rise, a co-working space, or someone's kitchen table, the setting isn't as important as the atmosphere. Human. People greet each other with kisses on the cheek, ask about your weekend, your mom, your dog. Then slowly, work begins. But don't expect silent open-plan offices. Expect chatter, movement, energy. Meetings are common, but they're rarely stiff. Expect tangents, passionate debates, and a bit of overlap between work topics and everything else. The vibe is animated, maybe even loud, and that's totally normal. Disagreement isn't avoided, it's embraced, as long as it's honest. There's coffee, maybe a second round of mate, someone brings pastries. Even serious workplaces feel alive. In many cases, colleagues are friends, or even extended family. And it shows. In some sectors, especially creative or media, the morning might just be warm-up time. Real productivity kicks in later in the day, often peaking after lunch. Spaghetti luncheon breaks. Lunch usually happens around 1 to 2 p.m., and it's a proper break. Some bring food from home, others order Milanesas, empanadas, pastas, or go out to a nearby cafe. Shared meals are common, and coworkers often eat together, even if there's no formal cafeteria. Lunch isn't eaten alone at a desk. It's social, a chance to decompress, catch up with coworkers, or have a heated debate about politics, football, or last night's dinner. There are no off-limit topics. There's rarely just one break. People pause for coffee, a snack, or a short walk throughout the day. It's not rigid. It's fluid. Some teams eat together, others disperse. Either way, lunch is as much about talking as eating. Someone might show you a meme. Someone else tells a long story. It's not just a meal, it's a moment. Lunches can easily stretch to an hour or more. Time is flexible, and conversations are important. After lunch, work resumes slowly. There's usually a period of digestion, literally and socially, before the tempo rises again. Afternoons may be more focused, but still punctuated by laughter and quick conversations. Hourglass on end of the workday. The workday officially ends around 6 or 7 p.m., but that's not a guarantee. Overtime is common, not always because of strict deadlines, but because the line between work and life is blurry. If a project runs late, people stay. If there's a team discussion that turns into a debate, no one checks the clock. The culture leans toward being present and involved, even if it means stretching the schedule. There's often no sense of clocking out, more of a natural drift into the evening. But there's also a kind of understanding. If you need to leave early or take time off, people usually get it. It's a culture of emotional negotiation, not fixed rules. People are generally empathetic, as long as you're transparent. Some sectors, especially freelance or creative fields, have very irregular schedules. It's not uncommon to get a message about work at 10 p.m. and reply. Not out of pressure, but because passion and spontaneity drive a lot of projects here. Sunset evening. After work, the city doesn't slow down, it comes alive. Friends meet for drinks. Fernet con coca is a classic. Others head to the gym, take dance classes, walk their dogs, or meet family. Dinner is late, often after 9 p.m., and can easily last 2 hours. It's normal to stay out on a Tuesday night, talking philosophy over pizza and red wine. There's a sense that life is now, and you don't put it on hold for the weekend. Weeknights are just as vibrant as Saturdays. You might finish work, meet a friend for pizza, then spontaneously join a birthday gathering. Everything is fluid. Social life is sacred and often spontaneous. You might get a last-minute invite for dinner or drinks and feel zero pressure to decline. Saying yes to life is part of the culture. And people remember when you show up. For many Argentinians, this balance or imbalance between work and life is not a flaw. It's part of a more meaningful existence. Work is important, but so are relationships, laughter, conversation, and a good steak shared at midnight. Performing arts cultural highlights and work norms. Hierarchy? It exists, but it's negotiable. Employees aren't afraid to challenge their managers, and debates are often passionate and public. Emotion is not a weakness here. It's part of communication. Being too neutral can be seen as disengaged. Dress code? Depends on the industry. In creative and tech sectors, jeans and t-shirts are fine. In finance or law, expect more formality, but with a personal flair. Individuality is appreciated. People dress with style, not always with uniformity. What surprises foreigners? The lack of strict timekeeping. Meetings start late, and no one seems too stressed about it. The warmth, hugs, cheek kisses, personal questions. How involved people get, even in simple things. Every conversation feels like it matters. Emotional transparency. People express frustration, joy, excitement openly. Workplaces can feel like families, with all the beauty and messiness that implies. The mix of chaos and control, somehow, despite the informality, things get done. Deadlines are often met, just not in the way you'd expect. Argentina isn't a country of structure. It's a country of connection. And when you work here, you don't just join a company, you join a story. One that unfolds in real time, with passion, humor, and a lot of humanity. Every day is unpredictable, but never empty. You might not know what your afternoon will look like, but you'll never feel alone in it. The Netherlands, where work serves life. Sunrise morning. In the Netherlands, the morning doesn't wake you, it greets you politely. Around 6:30 to 7 a.m., many Dutch professionals are already up. The air is crisp, the streets are quiet, and the sky, even when gray, feels calm. Large windows invite the light in, and most homes feel like curated sanctuaries, tidy, quiet, and full of soft routines. The day typically begins with a simple breakfast, whole grain bread with cheese, maybe a boiled egg, and a strong black coffee. Some prefer Aunt Bijkoek, a spiced rye cake, or yogurt with fruit and granola. Meals are functional, not ceremonial. There's no rush, no scrolling through emails. Just time to wake up and maybe chat with family. Many Dutch households start their mornings together. Having breakfast as a family is common, and children are encouraged to be independent, often packing their own lunches or biking to school solo. There's a strong emphasis on personal responsibility, even from a young age. By 7:30 or 8 a.m., the city starts moving, not with engines, but with pedals. The first wave of cyclists floods the streets. Suited up in everything from office attire to hoodies and jeans, people move silently and efficiently. The bike isn't just transportation, it's a mindset. And the morning ride is sacred. Even in winter, people ride. Umbrellas are adapted to handlebars, ponchos flap like capes, and everyone keeps moving. There's a deep resilience in this simplicity. Woman biking commute. Over 60% of Dutch people commute by bike, a statistic that says more about the culture than any slogan. In cities like Amsterdam, Utrecht, and Rotterdam, the infrastructure is impeccable. Wide bike lanes, special traffic signals for cyclists, and even multi-level underground bike garages that feel futuristic. Cycling is democratic. Politicians, students, CEOs, everyone pedals. It's not about status. It's about ease, sustainability, and control over your time. If not biking, many take trains or trams, which are famously punctual and clean. Trains between cities run frequently, and public transport cards, OV chip card, are integrated across modes. Commuting by car is possible, but rare in dense areas. Parking is expensive, and traffic is discouraged through design. You won't hear much honking. Road rage is practically non-existent. During the commute, people read news on their phones, scroll through NOS or De Volkskrant, listen to podcasts, or simply enjoy the silence. Public spaces are shared respectfully, loud phone calls are frowned upon, and eye contact with strangers is optional, not expected. Adult laptop computer start of the workday. The typical Dutch workday begins at 8:30 or 9 a.m., and it begins on time. Being late is not dramatic, but it is noticed. Dutch offices are known for their minimalist, well-organized environments. Natural light, ergonomic chairs, plants, and clean desks dominate the space. There's usually a shared kitchen, and often, a good coffee machine, because coffee is a quiet cultural pillar. Many people work in open-plan layouts with designated quiet zones. Some prefer hybrid models. Working from home a few days a week is normalized and supported by most employers. Work starts with purpose. Meetings are short, to the point, and scheduled in 30-minute or 1-hour blocks with clear agendas. Dutch communication is direct. If something isn't working, they'll tell you. If they like something, they'll also tell you, without fluff. There's little patience for office politics or empty talk. Transparency and logic are valued over charisma or emotional persuasion. Everyone is expected to contribute, regardless of rank. Hierarchy exists, but it's subtle. Managers are often just another team member, approachable, practical, and focused on group performance over personal authority. Sandwich lunch and breaks. Lunch usually happens between 12 o'clock and 1 p.m., and it's quick. The Dutch lunch is famously modest. Think bridges, sandwiches with cheese, cold cuts, or peanut butter, a piece of fruit, and a glass of milk or coffee. Hot meals are rare. Those are reserved for dinner. People eat in break rooms or at their desks. It's common to see a full team quietly munching sandwiches while checking emails. There's nothing antisocial about it. It's just practical. Food is fuel, not a social ritual. However, offices do encourage short, informal coffee breaks, often referred to as coffee pause. It's a moment to stand, stretch, refill your cup, and briefly chat. These mini breaks help maintain focus without breaking flow. Some companies offer standing desks, walking meetings, or even short team strolls outside. Physical and mental wellness is considered part of productivity, not a bonus. Hourglass done end of the workday. By 5 o'clock or 5:30 p.m., most people are finished and they leave. Staying late is unusual. In fact, it might be viewed as poor planning. The Dutch value efficiency, not martyrdom. It's expected that you manage your time well and deliver what's expected within agreed hours. You won't get a call from your boss at 7 p.m. And if you do, it better be an emergency. Boundaries are not just cultural, they're institutional. Flexible work is widespread. Some people work compressed hours for 9-hour days. Others take regular half-days for parenting, study, or personal projects. The concept of part-time professional roles is normalized, even at senior levels. There's trust between employees and employers. As long as the work is done, how and when it's done is negotiable. This flexibility leads to high satisfaction and low burnout rates. Cityscape at dusk evening. Evenings in the Netherlands are quiet, purposeful, and personal. Most people return home to cook dinner, fresh, simple, nutritious. Meals often include vegetables, potatoes, and either fish, meat, or vegetarian options. Dinner usually happens around 6 to 7 p.m. After dinner, people engage in hobbies, walking, reading, DIY projects, watching series, or attending community events. The Dutch are extremely active in clubs and associations, from amateur sports to cultural groups. Bars and restaurants are present, but weeknight partying is uncommon. Socializing is often planned in advance, and people value restful evenings. A tidy home, a cup of tea, and soft lighting are more common than noise and nightlife. There's a deep cultural concept called gezelligheid, a kind of cozy connection. It's not just about comfort, but about shared moments that feel safe and pleasant. Think candles, close friends, warm interiors, and laughter without pressure. Evenings are a reward, not for surviving work, but for living well. Performing arts cultural highlights and work norms. Hierarchy? Minimal. Workplaces are consensus-driven. Team members feel empowered to speak up, question decisions, and propose improvements. Status doesn't shield you from feedback. Dress code? Casual smart. People dress neatly but rarely formally. Clean sneakers, jeans, and sweaters are common, even among executives. Appearance is less important than attitude. What surprises foreigners? Meetings start exactly on time and end when they're supposed to. Direct communication, people say no easily and mean it. Work-life separation, colleagues may not socialize outside work, and that's okay. The absence of small talk conversations are often functional. The calm pace, despite high efficiency, there's rarely visible stress. In the Netherlands, work is designed to serve life, not the other way around. People strive to be productive and present. There's no pride in exhaustion, no romanticism around busyness. Life is made of more than work, and the Dutch are determined to protect that balance. A full-day comparison. Now that we've spent a day in Argentina and a day in the Netherlands, let's compare from the first moment of waking up to how each culture winds down at night. 2 countries, 2 rhythms, 2 definitions of what it means to live and work well. Alarm clock wake-up time. Argentina. Most people wake up around 7:30 to 8 a.m., with a lot of flexibility. Some later, especially if working remotely. The morning starts gently, with mate, family group chats, and no sense of urgency. It's not about the clock, it's about the mood. Netherlands. Wake-up time is more structured. 6:30 to 7 a.m. The day begins early, with calm routines, natural light, and a silent, focused atmosphere. By 8 a.m., many have already had a full breakfast and cycled to work. The difference: Argentina lets the day begin when it feels right. The Netherlands starts when it's scheduled to. One follows the body, the other, the calendar. Briefcase start of the workday. Argentina, work starts around 9:30 to 10 a.m., but it's more about energy than punctuality. Greetings are warm, conversations lively. The team is like family, and the start of the day feels like joining a group adventure. Netherlands, work starts sharply at 8:30 to 9 a.m. Punctuality is the norm. The environment is quiet, minimalistic, and everyone knows their role. There's no need to warm up, you get right to it. The difference: Argentina eases into work socially. The Netherlands dives in efficiently. Adult laptop computer work environment. Argentina, offices are often open and lively. Conversations happen constantly, not just about work, but everything. The atmosphere is emotional, human, a bit chaotic, but deeply engaging. Netherlands, offices are organized, calm, and designed for focus. Open plans are balanced with quiet areas. Noise is minimal, and the tone is professional but relaxed. The difference: the Argentine office feels like a buzzing cafe. The Dutch one, like a peaceful co-working space with rules. Dizzy face, dizzy stress, and overtime. Argentina, overtime is common. People work late not always because of deadlines, but because they're involved and emotionally invested. It's normal to be texting about work at 10 p.m. and feel okay about it. Netherlands, work ends around 5 to 5:30 p.m., and that's it. Overtime isn't celebrated, it's questioned. If you stay late, people wonder why you didn't finish during the day. The difference: in Argentina, overtime is passion. In the Netherlands, it's inefficiency. Fork and knife with plate lunch and breaks. Argentina, lunch is long, warm, and social. Hot meals, deep conversations, maybe an hour or more. It's a moment of connection and culture, not just a break. Netherlands, lunch is quick and functional. Sandwiches, fruit, coffee, all wrapped up in 20 to 30 minutes. The focus is refueling, not unwinding. The difference: Argentina treats lunch like a gathering. The Netherlands treats it like a pit stop. Bar chart attitude toward management. Argentina, managers are respected, but relationships are emotional and spontaneous. Conflicts are handled openly. You might argue with your boss and go for drinks later. Netherlands, managers are colleagues first. Hierarchy is flat. Criticism is direct but respectful. Consensus and logic matter more than titles. The difference: Argentina blends hierarchy with emotion. The Netherlands blends structure with equality. Balance scale work-life balance. Argentina, work blends into life. People talk about projects over dinner or at the bar. Work is part of who you are, and boundaries are flexible. Netherlands, clear separation. After work, people disconnect. Colleagues rarely become close friends, and that's totally okay. Personal time is sacred. The difference: Argentina integrates. The Netherlands compartmentalizes. Brain, where's the freedom? Argentina, freedom is fluidity. You can be late, stay late, change your mind, improvise. Plans are guidelines, not rules. It's about what feels right in the moment. Netherlands, freedom is structure. You choose when and where to work, within clear boundaries. It's about designing your day so you're never overwhelmed. The difference: Argentina sees freedom as spontaneity. The Netherlands sees freedom as stability. Puzzle piece conclusion. At first glance, Argentina and the Netherlands seem like opposites. One runs on feeling, the other on systems. One lets you work until midnight, the other sends you home by 5. But both offer compelling visions of what work can be. If you thrive on emotion, energy, and deep human bonds, you might fall in love with Argentina's rhythm. If you crave clarity, peace, and protected personal time, the Dutch way may be for you. There is no better or worse. Just a question: which world would you rather wake up in?